phone rang at precisely 11:45 a.m. I remember the time because moments before it rang, the world had felt strangely still, as if it were holding its breath. The ceiling fan had stopped humming due to a power cut. The street outside was unusually quiet, and even my thoughts seemed suspended mid-air. When the ringtone pierced the silence, it startled me so badly that the phone nearly slipped from my hand. Hello, I answered, my voice casual, unaware that this single word would become the threshold between normalcy and nightmare. Oh, hi. The voice, on the other hand, was faint, shaking, breathless. How are you? I asked instinctively. There was no response, only hurried breathing, muffled chaos, distant voices overlapping each other. My spine stiffened. What? What happened? I asked, sitting upright. Oh dear, how did it happen? The words came out of her mouth in broken fragments. Stairs, slipped, blood, head. Not waking properly. My heart lurched violently. Okay, relax, I said, even though my own hands had started to tremble. Please relax. I'll be there within a few minutes. Don't worry, everything will be fine. God is with us. There was a brief silence followed by a quiet sob. Yes, I continued. Send me the address. I'll reach there. The call disconnected. For several seconds, I remained frozen, phone pressed to my ear long after the line had gone dead. When I finally lowered my hand, my fingers were shaking uncontrollably. Aunt Josephine Smith. She had fallen down the stairs, bleeding heavily from the left side of her head. The words echoed inside my skull, each repetition sharper, heavier, more suffocating than the last. My chest felt tight, as though invisible hands were squeezing the air out of my lungs. Memory surfaced uninvited. Her warm smile, her soft voice narrates bedtime stories, the way she combed my hair gently when I was sick as a child. She had taken care of me during a difficult period of my childhood, fed me, protected me, comforted me when no one else could. The thought of her lying injured, possibly unconscious, made my knees weak. I looked around my room, chaos, clothes strewn across the floor, unwashed utensils piled in the sink, books lying open where I had abandoned them, dust coating surfaces that once gleamed. Just like my mind, I thought bitterly. Disorder unsettled me deeply. Whenever fear threatened to overwhelm me, I clung to routine. Order gave me control, or at least the illusion of it. All right, I whispered to myself, forcing steadiness into my voice. Get ready. I moved mechanically. First, the clothes picked up, folded, stacked with obsessive precision. Then the house, sweeping, wiping, rearranging furniture that didn't need rearranging. I cleaned the kitchen thoroughly, scrubbing the counter and stove until my hands ached. The bathroom followed, mirror wiped clean, floor washed, sink scrubbed spotless. My body worked, but my mind screamed as if what had happened? What if she is bleeding internally? What if no one helped her in her time? What if... Stop, I muttered sharply, gripping the sink. Stop thinking. I bathed quickly, water cascading over me in hot streams. I stood under the shower long than usual, letting the water drown out of my thoughts, imagining it washing away my fear. After dressing, I stood before the small prayer altar in the corner of my room. I folded my hands tightly, eyes shut. Please, I prayed silently, please protect her. Let her survive. Let me reach in time. I dressed carefully, blue jeans, a white t-shirt, my watch strapped to my right wrist as usual. Brown shoes. I slung my bag over my shoulder and checked its contents repeatedly. Biscuits, water bottle, wallet, phone, house keys, everything was there. Before stepping out, I checked my phone again. Oh, there it is. The address aunt's daughter had sent. I locked the door, checking it twice, then stood for a moment. Everything will be alright, I told myself. I wasn't sure I believed it. The cab ride felt endless. Traffic crawled, horns blared, pedestrians crossed recklessly, but inside me there was only dread. Hospitals terrified me, always had. The smell of antiseptic, the echoing corridors, the hollow faces of patients, all of it lingered in my mind long before leaving. Yet today avoidance was impossible. Then the cab finally stopped. My stomach twisted violently. The hospital loomed ahead, large, imposing, its glass facade reflecting a dull grey sky. It looked less like a place of healing and more like a monument to suffering. I paid the driver and stepped out. Immediately, my heart began to race. My palms grew sweaty, my breathing turned shallow. I tightened my grip on my back and instinctively patted my shoulder, a nervous habit I had developed over the years. It's just a hospital, I reminded myself. People come here every day. Inside, chaos reigned. Phones rang incessantly, nurses rushed past without a glance, patients sat slumped in waiting areas, eyes dull with exhaustion, pain, or fear. The air smelled sterile yet heavy, as if saturated with despair. I approached the front desk. The receptionist, a woman with tired eyes, hand permanently irritated expression, was juggling phone calls. 3 other phones blinked beside her insistently. Oh, a busy woman, I thought. I waited. One call ended, another began immediately. She glanced at me briefly and gestured impatiently, mouthing, "What do you want?" "I'm here to visit Mrs. Josephine Smith," I said politely. Without looking up, she flipped through a register while still on the phone. 801, she snapped. Next, and just like that, she turned away. I stood there for a moment, stunned by her indifference, before spotting the elevator. There it is. An old man sat slumped in a chair near the elevator, head drooping forward as if asleep. "Excuse me," I said softly. No response. Hesitating, I gently shook his shoulder. His eyes snapped open, bloodshot red, piercing. A chill ran down my spine. "I need to go to room 801, I said nervously. He stared at me for a long, uncomfortable moment before standing up silently and entering the elevator. I followed, my heart pounding violently. The doors slid shut. Silence filled the confined space, thick, oppressive. My throat felt dry. I took out my water bottle, slipped it in, sipped twice, and shoved it back into my bag. The elevator tinged, the doors opened. I stepped out, cold, bone-chilling cold. The air felt wrong, unnatural, heavy. Goosebumps rose instantly as an icy shiver ran through my spine. My breath fogged faintly. Behind me, the elevator doors began to close. "Good luck," the old man said quietly. I turned, but the doors had already sealed shut. Good luck? 3 passages stretched before me. To the left, a glass door framed with brown wooden edges. To the right, a narrow passage lined with thick green curtains brushing the floor. Straight ahead, a long corridor ending in 4 glass doors. The temperature was freezing. My teeth chattered slightly. Then I heard it. Laughter. Soft giggles. Running footsteps. Children. The sound came from behind the glass door on the left. There must be a nurse, I thought, or a receptionist. I approached cautiously. The giggles stopped abruptly. Whispers replaced them. The dim lighting made everything hazy. I reached for the knob. The moment my fingers touched it, silence. Absolute stillness. Uneasy, I turned toward the passage on the right. I opened the door. Inside, I froze. A ward. Beds lined on either side, children, small, pale bodies, hollow eyes, fragile limbs. Oh, I'm sorry, I stammered. I think I'm in the wrong place. A little girl stepped forward. Are you our nanny? My heart skipped. Did the receptionist send you? She asked eagerly. Will you look after us? Another boy spoke, voice trembling. How long do we have to stay here? I want to go home. My chest tightened painfully. I'll talk to the receptionist, I said softly. Someone will take care of you. What's your name? I asked. I'm Emma, she said. This is my brother John. 11 children, 12 beds, white tags on their right hand. Where is the other baby? I asked. She went downstairs, Emma replied, to call her parents. Time slipped away unnoticed. We played, laughed. For a moment, everything felt normal. When I checked my watch, it was 8 p.m. I'll come back tomorrow, I promised, hugging them with gifts. Their eyes followed me as I left. Then I saw the board. Children's Cancer Ward, kindly maintain silence. Below it, all patients are dead, identified by white tags on their right hand. My blood turned to ice. I ran. The elevator arrived. I jumped in. Relief surged. Then a presence. A little girl stood beside me, smiling. I looked at her and wondered. There's a white tag on the right side of her hand. What it means like? Oh, the children that were dead are all having the same tag. She raised her right hand like this one, she said. The lights went off.